I believe. Yes, we're live on Facebook. Excuse me. We're live on Instagram and we are live on YouTube as well. See the top of my phone there on YouTube. Cool. Right. I'm going to give it a few minutes to let some people jump on. People jumping on, just let me know if you can hear me by sticking an emoji in the comments, please, or giving me a thumbs up on YouTube. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me before we get going. It has been a while since I've done a live. That's me fucking slacking off. Apologies. Cool. We got 17 of you on Instagram now. Someone leave me an emoji. Let me know that you can hear me and see me. We've got one. Thank you very much, Marie. Appreciate it. Cool. We got people jumping in and out. We've got someone on Facebook. Cool. YouTube never really shows anyway. Awesome. Cool. Right. Got some good emojis coming in now. Thank you very much. Thanks for jumping on, everyone. Appreciate your time. So let's get into it. I've not done a podcast episode in a while. This is going to be number 232. So we've got a fair few backlogged anyway. For you guys watching live, you can always go on to Apple, Spotify, search the Type 1 Movement podcast, and you're going to find all the episodes on there. This is obviously going to be the latest episode. I'm going to hit record on my podcast software. It's not been used in a while, so hopefully it's all right. It doesn't start breaking up and disconnects on the microphone. Right, shall we hit record and we will get going? 3, 2, 1. Yes, welcome to another episode of the Type 1 Movement podcast. It's been a while. I feel I am slacking off with these episodes. I'm sorry. It's been a good few months. A lot has happened in my life over the last couple of months. But I've got a good one to come at you guys with. And it's going to be why you can't control the outcome of your diabetes control. Hopefully, I'm going to break this down in a way that you understand. It's kind of a catchy sort of name that. Hopefully, people are reading it and being like, what the fuck? What does he mean by that? It's like clickbait, right? But we'll get there. But anyway, before we get into it, please do leave me a rating and a review on this episode if you get value from it. Also, feel free to give it a screenshot, share it on your stories, tag me at type1_Tom or Tom Allison on Facebook so I can reach out and say thank you. We do run no paid advertising. We don't run paid advertising to these podcast episodes. So it's kind of just word of mouth. Isn't a few of my emails, though, which we do run ads to. So probably do a little bit. Anyway, a lot's been going on in my life recently. I've decided to participate in the sport of triathlon. I nearly did it a few years ago, but you know what? I couldn't swim. And I decided that I was shit at swimming. So I did a duathlon instead, which is basically a bike and a run. I'm not too bad. I'm decent on a bike. I'm all right at running. But this leads into nicely what I kind of want to talk about. So obviously, like, I had a goal of actually learning to swim because I wanted to complete a triathlon. Yeah. I wanted to complete a triathlon. I managed to do a couple of sprints, but the goal was basically complete a triathlon. Yeah. Which is it's an outcome goal, right? So what I had to do to be able to swim okay enough, I'm not the best swimmer, swimming is one of those things, isn't it? It's so technique based. But what I had to do to be able to complete this triathlon is basically learn to swim. Yeah. So the goal was completing a triathlon, but dialing it back, I had to learn to swim. Then I had to dial it back even more. So what did I have to do? These inputs that I had to do to be able to learn to swim, right? And this was like, I ended up getting a coach, I ended up getting swimming lessons, going to the pool, practicing techniques, trying to get swim endurance. So there's a lot of inputs that I had to do to try and reach this goal. Yeah. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And this is why I've kind of tried to capture everyone with this sort of this sort of title to it. So there's something that we need to understand. Yeah, and I want you guys to understand this. Our numbers, like me wanting to complete a triathlon, our numbers are what we call an outcome goal, right? So our HbA1c, our average blood glucose, type 1s, our time in range, they are what we call an outcome goal. Now, we should never really just solely rely on an outcome goal because we can't really dictate what that outcome is going to be. Yeah. Same with me with the swimming. All I could control was my input of going to the pool and putting the reps in. The outcome then was going to take care of itself. And it's the same with managing our diabetes. We can't just say, right, I want to lower HbA1c, or I want to increase my time in range. That's my outcome goal, and kind of leave it there. Because what happens if we start doing that, and I've seen this done time and time again, and we solely just focus on that number or that outcome goal, people start doing weird shit. They start doing odd shit that they don't really want to do just to try and get that A1C lower or that time in target range higher. This could be things like, I'm not going to bash low carbs, but going low carb if you don't want to. It could be things like exercising every single day just because, yes, it helps you manage your bloods, or going on walks and stuff every single day when you don't really want to do something just because you've got an outcome goal, right? So, as I said, numbers are an outcome goal. We can't really dictate that. What we should be focusing on is similar. That's why I used the story of the swimming at the beginning, is our inputs. We can directly control the input that we put towards a goal. So in this case, it would be the inputs that we're putting in to improve our blood glucose control. We can control that. If we're putting in the right inputs to something, yeah, do you think that we will achieve the outcome that we want, or will we not if we're putting the right inputs in? It's inevitable. It's the only way to guarantee that you're going to get the result and the control in this case that you want is by you controlling and putting the correct inputs in. Yeah. If you don't put the correct inputs in, or you do fuck all, then the outcome isn't going to be the outcome that you want. It's as simple as that, right? So the main point I'm getting home here is focus on inputs because you can control these. Yeah. So I'm going to give you 6 inputs that we can control, directly control as type 1 diabetics, that will lead to an outcome of us improving our control and improving our numbers, lowering our A1C, lowering our average, improving our time in range, and ultimately improving our health. Yeah. If we're putting these inputs in and we can control these inputs, yeah, the outcome will always take care of itself. Yeah. So if there's one thing that you take from this, never just solely focus on the outcome of your goal. Never just solely focus on getting better control. You need to figure out which, well, you don't, because I'm going to fucking break it down to the 6 main points in this episode in a second. But then your goal becomes on, what are these inputs that I need to do every single day to lead me to this goal? Same with me with swimming. I never just kept thinking, I want to complete, all right, I was thinking about it a bit, but I want to complete a triathlon. I want to learn how to swim. What I was thinking is, right, I'm going to go to the pool today and I'm going to complete this workout. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I'm going to focus on my technique. That's all I focused on. And you know what? The outcome was there. It took care of itself. Yeah. So I'm going to break down the 6 main inputs that we need to be inputting, obviously, hence why they're called inputs, if we want to improve our control. Yeah. So these 6 inputs, you've probably heard me say a few of these before if you're a regular follower or you're a regular listener. The first one is our basal rate. It's the foundation of our control. We need to test it, pens or pump. Even if we're using a hybrid closed loop or a closed loop system, we need to test our basal rate to make sure that's correct and dialed in. That's the first input. The second input is your insulin to carb ratio. Same again, pens or pump. And if you're using a closed loop or hybrid closed loop, you still need this for the algorithm to work correctly. Yeah. So the first input that we can control is our basal rate. The second input that we can control is our insulin to carb ratio. The third input we can control is our nutrition. And I don't care if people say, oh, I just get dead down all the time and I eat shit. Look, we're adults. We can control what we pick up with our hands and put in our mouths, right? We can control that. Yeah. So our nutrition, there's a lot that falls under that. Understanding certain parts of nutrition, controlling what you eat, figuring stuff out. Like that is the third input that's going to obviously lead to a good outcome in terms of your management. The fourth input is working out and moving your body. As I said at the start, though, don't just get obsessed with this and use it as a way to manage your blood. You should enjoy working out. There's so many health benefits to it. Don't just use it for managing your bloods, but it does help. Yeah, that's a fourth input that you can control, working out. Fifth input, a big one, is bolusing for high fat and protein meals. So splitting your bolus if you're on pens, extending your bolus if you're on a pump. Even if You choose to avoid high fat and high protein foods because they can be challenging to control. I get it. At some point in your life, you're going to go out with your mates and you're going to want a high fat, high protein food, burger, pizza, donut, whatever it is, or a healthy salad with loads of avocado, some chicken, some salad dressing. That's still high fat. Maybe some bread on there as well. You're still going to need to learn how to bolus for that. And the sixth input, and this is where a lot of people struggle, that you need to be able to control to get the outcome that you want, is just be consistent over time. No one's saying be 100% all the time. Yeah. But just be as consistent as you possibly can over time. So if you can control these 6 inputs and just make those the goal. So first one is your basal rate, second one, carb ratio, third one, your nutrition, what you're eating, fourth one, working out, fifth, learn how to bolus high fat, high protein foods, and 6, being consistent over time. If you can make those the goal and just focus on them every single day, every single week, the outcome will inevitably be better control. That's the only way, and that's guaranteed. Yeah. This will also help you stop feeling so frustrated because you don't think your control is improving. Yeah. So focus on these 6 inputs, just like I had to focus with the swimming. I'm still not the best. I'm getting better though. But if you want to improve your control, these are the things that are well within your power and well within your control. The outcome of something never is. But you can rest easy if you know you're putting the correct inputs in. Let the outcome take care of itself. Let it do its thing, because all outcome goals are going to be achieved from the correct inputs. Team, that is it. If you got value from this episode, please leave me a rating and a review on the podcast app. I appreciate your time as always. Till the next episode, have a great day. Peace. Cool. Right, I'm going to stay on for a couple of minutes just to see if anyone has any questions. I'm going to whiz back through the comments because I think I've seen a few. If anyone has any questions, feel free to stick them in the comments and I'll run through and answer them. Just having a look on Facebook. I think there's still a few people on there. Look for you guys on Instagram. Cool. Right. I'm going to wrap it up there, gang. If we've got no questions coming in, which I don't think we have. Cool. Right, let's wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for jumping on. I'm super appreciative of people's time. It's a very valuable resource because the 10, 15 minutes that you spent on this live with me, you'll never get back. So I appreciate it. And hopefully you learned something from it. Cheers, James. You're welcome, bud. Hopefully, I have seen your comment as well, James. I'm going to reply to it. Apologies, a bit behind on it. Hopefully you guys have learned something from that. Yeah. And again, I'll reiterate, yes, have outcome goals, but never just keep that as the focus because your head's going to fall off. You're going to get stressed out. Yeah. Always dial it back to what's the input that I can control that I need to put in. And in terms of managing our bloods, these are the 6 main things I've been over on this live. Gang, appreciate your time. As I keep saying, till the next live, peace.